he can share chat, share slides and other things.
Sir, in our every meeting, we first introduce our Shantikunj activities.
Yes, yes.
All World Gayatri Parivar having its headquarters at Shantikunj, Haridwar. It is a Yug Tirth, it is a ashram, it is a tapo sthali, and it is a great place for you all to visit. And we can see inside ourselves if we visit there, and we shall have a unique experience if we visit Shantikund. So whoever from the audience viewers has not visited so far, I request that after this lockdown or this process is over, that once you visit the Shantikund, it is a wonderful place for self awareness. It is wonderful place for self penance, and along with it there is a university, Deva Sanskriti Vishwavidyalaya University. It provides various courses, and apart from academic courses, it also provides you the course certificate course in theology, dharma vigyan, that is not available in any other university. So that is the uniqueness of this university. That is Dev Sanskriti Vishwavidyalaya, DSVU. So you can also log on. Now, without taking much more time, this group advocates campaign is to explore the possibility of thought process, because the advocates and the persons who are not advocates, but that they are advocating the issues of public interest, local interest, and in the larger interest is the global interest. They are working. So like you, we have invited, and in collaboration with the same similar ideology, the same thoughts, we are going ahead in this direction. So now, without wasting your further time, and I request Dr. Amit Yadav ji to start his lecture and uh, inspire all, so that this tobacco related problems, law, everybody should know about it. I now hand over to Dr. Amit Yadav.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I'm going to talk about the tobacco control laws in India and some of the international provisions also. And I think most of the friends who are watching me would know that tobacco is the highest or the biggest risk factor for causing preventive deaths and disease in the country. And I'm talking to lawyers and doctors and the Parivar family here, and they would know that it's an addiction, and it's a very severe addiction. Once people get into this addiction, it is very difficult to get out of it. The trouble is that most of the people who get addicted, they start using tobacco at much younger age. So they start at you would find in India people as young as 8 years and 5 years, 10 years, 12 years kids, they start using tobacco. And so by the time they reach 18, they are already a chain smoker or gutka chewer or khaini, they use khaini. So by the time they are reaching adulthood, they are already becoming an addict. And for any habit, if you start early, it is very difficult to get rid of that habit. And that is why the tobacco industry mostly look at catching all these people young, catching them young, and they target the young people. So our response when we are talking about tobacco control, our response also should target to the young people and to people who are suffering from the disease, death and disease caused due to tobacco. Now, how can lawyers help in this, and what are the laws that are in hand, which needs to be implemented? And all these legal mechanisms have been there for long now. COTPA was enacted in 2003, so it is going to be almost 20 years. And FCTC was adopted as an international treaty in 2005. So it is already 15 years. So these are old provisions, and there are several other provisions also. I'm going to talk about them, and I'll be happy to again further discuss this with Jitendra sir and others who are on this, Dr. Hegde and Vinay sir. So let me share my screen, and Jitendra ji, it is please enable share screen.
Even please enable the chat also.
Yeah. I'm still not able to share.
Oh, I have made you host.
Yeah, now yes. Thank you. Now I can see. I hope you can see my screen.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Yes, yes, law and public health. Yes.
Yeah. So I'm going to present. Yes. So this is role of law and lawyers in tobacco control, and looking at different. So I'm going to talk about law and public health, and then look at international tobacco control laws, and domestic tobacco control laws, other laws that are used for tobacco control, and let's know in terms of discuss some question and answers, and some issues that are still relevant to tobacco control and for law, especially for lawyers. So I think most of our lawyer friends would already know that there is a series of international public health instruments or international treaties that apply to health related issues. And the first one among them is the World Health Organization's convention itself. So this was, India was not yet independent, but this was a global treaty which was already made in 1947, in April, 7th April 1947, and which defined that is what is health. So health is a state of complete physical, mental, social well-being and absence of any kind of disease or infirmity. So that is what health WHO defined in 1947. Then we have universal, UDHR, Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Again, it guarantees a lot of social, cultural rights, and within that, there's convention on social and cultural rights, economic, social, cultural rights. There was Declaration of Alma Ata, which focused on primary health care and as an integral part of promotive and preventive, curative and rehabilitative component. So, when we talk about tobacco control, I think we are talking about promoting, preventing, curating, and rehabilitating those people who are, in terms of at the end addictive. So I think this is already from 1978, and in this period only, even when we talk about current sustainable development goal, now we have adopted health for all by 2030, health for all ages. That has been our dream goal for in terms of global public health people since 1978 and 1980s, and we are yet to go towards that. And tobacco use is, I think, one of the biggest impediment in achieving that goal of health for all at all ages. And then you see even specific conventions like CEDAW or CRC. They all talk about health of women, health of child, and talk about highest standard of health for everybody. So these are international instruments which have identified health as an important aspect of our fundamental right or our right to life. And tobacco use is a threat. Why I say a threat? Because doctors are very well aware of the fact. Some of the lawyers are also aware. So this tobacco kills about 13.5 lakh Indians every year, more than 13.5 lakhs. And globally, it kills 80 lakh people every year. it is not a small amount of people who are dying. If we think about how many people are killed, every day. Otherwise, so just an example is the 9/11 twin towers. About 4,000 people more than were killed in one day, whereas in India only. So this is enormous loss of life, property, and people who are associated with others. This also result into a lot of economic loss. So about $27 billion, which is again a huge amount. It's almost 1% of the Indian GDP that is lost due in treating and helping people quit tobacco, and treating people suffering from diseases like cancer, heart attack, stroke, and COPDs and other diseases. So to check this, the global leaders, they came together, and in late 90s and early 2000s, so they started this treaty, and this is the FCTC, WHO Framework Convention on Tobacco Control. They started this, and this treaty, as you can see, it is in terms of, is one of the instruments to save lives, and it is actually constantly saving lives. Anyone who is applying, any country which is applying the FCTC is helping in saving lives. And this treaty today, it is ratified by 182 parties, which includes European Union. So 181 countries and European Union are party to this treaty. And it is one of the most ratified treaty unanimously adopted by global leaders. And it is in force from 27 February 2005. The key provisions, and this prioritize public health, and the key provisions, they are demand reduction measures for tobacco, they are supply reduction measures for tobacco, and prevention of environment, liability for violation of the provisions, then scientific and technical cooperation among countries, surveillance and reporting of tobacco related diseases and burden, and then adequate financial arrangements for dealing with tobacco related diseases. Some of the non-price measures, in terms of taxation, is one of the most important measures, which is given in Article 6 of the treaty. And other than taxation, there are these are non-price measures, which are protection from tobacco smoke, Section 4 of COTPA, regulation of tobacco products is Article 9, and regulation of disclosure is Article 10. These are under our COTPA Section 7.5. Now we have lab in place in the country, so they are trying to regulate tobacco products in the country. Packaging and labeling, which is pictorial warnings. This is Section 7 of COTPA. Education, communication, and awareness, advertising, promotion, and sponsorship, and measures concerning dependence and cessation. This is important aspect of getting people quit tobacco use. This is Article 14 of the Framework Convention on Tobacco Control. So this is overall the demand reduction side of the tobacco, whereas this is the supply reduction side, supply side measure, reducing the supply of tobacco, and this includes regulation of illicit trade, which is Article 15. Now there is an independent protocol on Article 15, and which is signed by India. And according to this protocol, every tobacco product should be, they have all kind of licensing and all kind of tracking and tracing measures, so that illicit trade is checked. Then prevention of youth access to tobacco, Article 16, and supporting alternative for tobacco farmers. So these are core supply side measures of the FCTC, and this is what I think in terms of effective implementation of treaty. We need to implement this. Besides this, Article 19 talks about the liability component of the implementation. If whether people are implementing or not, and whether there is a legal mechanism to put liability of tobacco industry around tobacco related issues. Again, to implement the treaties, normally what happens, countries adopt guidelines, and there have been several guidelines adopted by the Conference of Parties, which is the governing body of a treaty. And from 2007 to 2014, 7 guidelines have been adopted by COP, including one on Article 5.3, which is a significant guideline, which is talks about protection of tobacco control policies from the tobacco industry. There are other provisions also, and I'm going to talk about them when I'm talking about COTPA. So these are the guidelines. Again, these are obviously non-binding guidelines, but then these are very in terms of effective, in terms of persuasive value, and help countries to implement the directives under the treaty, respective provisions of the treaty. Empower strategies. Again, this is as per WHO, these are 6 effective strategies to reduce demand for tobacco. And apart from specific articles of FCTC, monitor is again the first one is monitor. So we need to monitor the problem. So this M for monitor of tobacco use and prevention policies. P for protect people from tobacco use. Offer help to quit tobacco use, and warn about the dangers. So pictorial warning and other awareness issues. So Article 11 and Article 12 come into W. Force bans on tobacco advertising, promotion, and sponsorship. So that is again TAPS ban, Article 13 and Section 5 of COTPA, and raise taxes on tobacco, which is Article 6 of FCTC. So these are international, our obligations and international guidelines and recommendations that we need to follow to reduce tobacco use in the country. Now, taking this, as Sir was already telling about, Dr. Hazare was telling about the 1920 Act. This act was actually only for cigarettes, and it has only very, in terms of a small one line text, which was cigarette smoking is injurious to health. That's all, and nothing else was there. Now, to get rid of this and to in terms of implement effective measures, the government and health people and civil society, and as Dr. Hazare was mentioning, Dr. Gupta and Dr. Reddy and several other people, they come together and they advocated for a comprehensive law. And in 2003, we got this comprehensive law called Cigarettes and Other Tobacco Products Act 2003, which actually prohibited the key provisions: smoking in public place, prohibited advertising, prohibited sale to and by minors, prohibited sale around educational institution, and required pictorial health warning on all tobacco products which are sold in the country. So Section 4 talked about smoke-free public places. No person shall smoke in a public place. So and this provision only exempted anyone more than 30 seats in a restaurant, and if you have more than 30 rooms in a hotel or at an airport, they may provide. So it is not a compulsory that they should have a smoking area, but they may provide a smoking area. Otherwise, all other places that you can think of is smoke free, and no one can smoke in those places. Some of the places are listed, and I think this is just as an example, but any place where any individual as a matter of right or otherwise can go is a public place, and that is a smoke free. This is a board which should already which should be there at every public place, and the name of the person, नाम और उसका फोन नंबर होना चाहिए कि जो भी वहाँ का एनफोर्समेंट अथॉरिटी है उसका नाम होना चाहिए. ये इस तरह का एक एग्जाम्पल बोर्ड है. And this is again ये बोर्ड कहाँ होना चाहिए? This board should be at entrance, floor, staircase, lift at conspicuous place. So this is section 4 of the COTPA. Section 5 suggests ban on advertising, promotion, and sponsorship. So there should be total ban on advertising. However, on-pack advertising and point-of-sale advertisement is permitted, but that is already regulated. One of the problem which continues is surrogate advertising and depiction in cinema, which is a little bit controlled by the film rules. There is absence of cross-border advertising rules in India, but I think in times to come that will also happen. So this is some of point-of-sale board violation. You can see the law now requires that there should be a board which is 60 by 45 centimeter, and out of which 20 by 15 centimeters should be say tobacco kills or tobacco causes cancer, and only list that are available. These are violation pictures, some of the old and new pictures you can see of surrogate advertising and indirect advertising pictures. This is again promotion or smoking in public place, and also constitutes as a promotion of smoking by celebrity. This is a small pack, to minor, in terms of promote the cigarette smoking among minors. These kind of packs have been used in the past. Currently, I'm not seen the similar one, but then I think they come up with new ideas and new ways. These are also again violation, display in shops and painting the whole shop into the color of the brand. So these are some of the violations of promotion ban. In movies, there is a ban which is implemented from 2012. So if any movie which has a tobacco use scene, that movie should provide a strong editorial justification. Then it should also have anti-tobacco health spot for 30 seconds and anti-tobacco health warning prominently displayed when there is a scene. It should say tobacco causes cancer or smoking kills. This should be like this as a disclaimer. This is video given by the Ministry of Health. This is old warnings. Now they keep rotating these warnings. So this is 30-second health spot during the beginning of the movie and at the interval of the movie. And this is the static warning that they should give. Here also you can see that they actually do not display the right warnings. You are looking at the warning as cigarette smoking is injurious to health, and this is the 1975 Act ka warning. Whereas the new law suggests that it should say tobacco kills or tobacco causes cancer. Smoking kills or smoking causes cancer for cigarettes, but it is actually not written like that. Section 6 requires that all shops, they should have this warning board that 18 साल से कम उम्र के व्यक्ति को बिक्री दंडनीय अपराध है in the local language. So if it is in Maharashtra, it should be in Marathi, and if it is in terms of in UP, it should be in Hindi, and in Tamil Nadu, it should be in Telugu. So like that, in all the shops which are selling tobacco. And tobacco should not be sold to anyone below the age of 18 years, not within 100 yards of educational institution. And every school should also put up these warnings. This is you can see the pictures of violation. Anyone who is selling tobacco, if he has a doubt that the person is less than 18 years or around 18 years, he should ask for photo ID. This is the board. A school who should have the board. You can see the boards outside the school. Every school should have this. Then this is the pictorial health warning, which is currently from December 2020. These are the new warning. Initially, these were very mild warnings, 40% of the pack, but now they are larger, 85% from 2016. And from 2018, you also have quit lines on the pack. So even the national quit line number is given. So anyone who is wanting to quit, they can use this. This is the penalty for violation of different provisions of COTPA. So from smoking up to 2,000 and sale to minors up to 2,000 rupees fine compoundable to criminal offense or conviction by court, and you can be in jail or hefty fine for advertising or not printing pictorial warning. Enforcement officer for section 4, there are 21 categories of officers. Virtually every public place has an enforcement officer, and it is listed under the law, and they should enforce. Then for section 5 and 7, there are 5 category of officer who should take cognizance and put up the complaint to the concerned judicial authority, and then the judicial authority magistrate can take appropriate action as per the law. For section 6, for protecting minors and sale around school education and educational institution, vice chancellor, assistant labor commissioner, food safety officers, or education, all the inspector rank officers in Department of Education, and police officers, municipal health officer, and several other 12 categories of officers are notified, and they can take action. These under section 5 and 7, so those are who are looking at advertising and pictorial warning violations. They have power to search and entry and search also. They have power to seize the products and also to confiscate the product under COTPA and dispose them as per the direction of the code. Under 28, there is power to compound offenses, which is for section 4 and 6, taking 200 rupees fine, and they can continue in terms of they can stop the offense and they can pay on the spot challan and fine. So apart from CODPA, then I'll quickly go through some of the legislation. So Food Safety Standard Act 2006. This is another act which bans smokeless tobacco. So any kind of flavoring or addictive agent or any food agent you are putting into tobacco is a violation of this provision. And which says tobacco and nicotine shall not be used as ingredient in food products. So अगर आप तंबाकू को जैसे पान में तंबाकू मिलाते हैं तो आप इसका वायलेशन करते हैं, and the penalty is about 50,000 rupees fine to 7-8 years of jail can happen depending on the kind of offense you're doing, and this is really severe. So any pan wala, when he puts jarda into the pan, he is violating food safety norms. And any gutka and pan masala which is sold around people who are selling these, they are violating the law. Supreme Court has clearly said that all states should comply and should not sell any twin pack also. State of Maharashtra has gone a step further and taken a strong public health measure where they have also banned pan masala and supari. State of Bihar also identified 15 brands of pan masala which were violating food safety norms. They were found with nicotine and magnesium carbonate, and they were also banned. So I think these are some of the good in terms of legal interventions which has happened with the help of lawyers and tobacco control advocates, and which are really helpful. So you can see here how these products are still, some places they are still available, and you can see RMD gutka and RMD pan masala, and similarly Rajsri pan masala and gutka, Vimal pan masala, and twin pouch of Vimal V1, which is there. So this is how the violations continue, and this need to be reported and taken action by authorities, and lawyers can yet in terms of take these to the courts. Another act related to tobacco control last year, this time around government passed is Prohibition of Electronic Cigarette Act, PECA, which is banning all kind of electronic cigarettes and heat not burn products. This is Dr. Hazare can talk more about it, and how in US this has created a havoc, and many people died last year because of electronic cigarette related lung infections. Trademarks Act, again, Trademarks Act bans some of the use of the brand names, which is which hurts religious sentiments and another thing which confuses people. So some of these brands are also affected by trademark law, which should be banned. Another very important provision is under Juvenile Justice Act. Juvenile Justice Act 2015 very clearly says that anyone who gives or causes to be given. So here it is not about sale. तो यहाँ सेल के लिए नहीं है, यहाँ देने से ही ऑफेंस बन जाता है. वो चाहे बड़ा भाई छोटे भाई को दे, या कोई अंकल किसी बच्चे को दे, या लाने के लिए बोले अपने घर से कि you bring my cigarette packet from home, and the moment they ask that thing, so they are they violate the law. It constitutes an offense, and the penalty is up to 1 lakh rupees fine and about 7 years of jail. So this is a serious offense under Juvenile Justice Act to protect the minors from addiction, and this is important and should be taken care of. Lastly, I will talk about this is my last slide, and Consumer Protection Act. Now in 2019, they have made this consumer protection law more effective, and anyone can file complaint against any defective and deficient product or goods or services. And to my understanding, and I think doctors on this call can tell me if I am wrong or right, but to me, tobacco looks like as a defective product per se. So there is nothing productive or in terms of helpful in a tobacco product. So it is a defective product per se, and selling a defective product to a in terms of consumer itself amounts to a violation of the Consumer Protection Act. It is against the consumer's interest. So to me, it looks like that these products should be banned completely. And I think there are PILs also in the Supreme Court and other courts where people have demanded complete ban on tobacco products. My own take is that if the government does not ban it at the national level, it should allow state governments to do that and amend the Article 47 of the Constitution and put tobacco there, because alcohol is already mentioned, and several states like Bihar now you see one of the big state and has banned alcohol, complete prohibition. So similarly, they could also ban tobacco as well. So that would be a good step, and I think some of the lawyer friends should take this up. Yeah, I think that's all from my side. And if there are any questions, I can all, in terms of as a lawyer, I look at a lot of other issues like no liability issues or class action suits, and know whether there is any tortious liability that is there for tobacco industry or not. So these are some of the issues that I think if there are questions and there are concerns, we can discuss them. Thank you so much, Jitendra ji.
Thank you, Dr. Amit ji.
Yeah.
And in a very short time, you have very categorically, nationally, internationally depicted the picture of tobacco control laws in India and international level. Now I request Dr. Hazare ji, Dr. Vinay Hazare ji. I think one aspect is to be dealt with by you.
Amit, can I have your first slide, please?
Yes, sir.
Your first slide.
Is this visible, sir?
Yes. Now I request Dr. Vinay Hazare ji to speak on this electronic ban in India, how it came in the picture.
Slide.
Sir, you are able to see my slide?
Yes, sir.
हेलो
Yeah. Yes, sir.
स्लाइड दिख नहीं रही अमित आपकी. I just wanted to
Share तो
first
किया हुआ है सर. आपको मैं फिर से शेयर करता हूँ.
Okay.
अभी आपको दिख रही है सर?
अभी started sharing. नहीं, उसके टाइटल स्लाइड, आपकी टाइटल स्लाइड.
हाँ. ये.
Yeah. So thank you, Amit. I was just trying to tell you your merits first, because you are our senior colleague, technical advisor working with the union, and you have done PhD, MPhil, and LLM, and role of different policies. You have rightly briefed us. As I was telling you, that Dr. Gupta was the one who started this, Dr. Reddy and Dr. Gupta. That was called as the Cigarette Act 1975. And then 2003, lots of people have, joined hands with them. And we had in the parliament also, our late MP, Dr. Shrikant Jiskar, pleading for the Kotpa. And it became a success story. And I remember our president was Abdul Kalamji at that time. So it became an act. So this was the history. But really, this law, Kotpa, was really taken up by dental school colleges students. And then we made a lot of progress in implementing the law. There were lots of NGOs, and they have also taken this law and promoted the law so that each citizen was benefited. Especially Hillis group of Saxeria Foundation and many other things, many other NGOs, they really made it viable, this law very viable. And now this law, so all the dental permission implementing that law. I'm very happy that Dr. Ravinder Tinsukia is with us. He is the president of Indian Dental Association. And through Indian Dental Association also, we have promoted this law every year, and not only on the day of World No Tobacco Day, but we have regular, camps and rallies and about awareness of this tobacco control activities. In 2006, we had the first symposium at Shanti Kunj Haridwar under the guidance of Dr. Prakash Gupta and Dr. Pranav Pandya. That was the holistic approach to tobacco control, and it worked. In the Ujjain Kumbh also, Dr. Srivastav made all those efforts and small documentaries, and there was a good response from citizens and cooperation from the Ujjain police and everywhere. So we are taking all these in all directions, multi-directions efforts. And if we understand the law and we are trying to implement, the youth will be definitely in a safer hands. I am very much thankful to Dr. Amit Yadav and Jitendra ji, of course, taking up this platform. And maybe after the lockdown, we are again planning a meeting at Shanti Kunj Haridwar, because we have lots of volunteer throughout the India. And last year only at Lucknow, 1 crore signatures were taken by Gayatri Parivar for the anti-tobacco activities and submitted to Rajyapal ji and Chief Minister. So lots of efforts are being taken in collaboration with the Gayatri Parivar. So we welcome all of you to all these to implement. We have definitely lots of logistics. 4 mobile vans are ready with us. It can reach to any corner of India. We have all the documentaries and messages, and so this was a small effort by Advocates Forum. I think Dr. Gupta is also with us in this communication. If Dr. Gupta can guide us in this meeting. Sir, can you guide us? Dr. Gupta, please, if you are there.
Yeah. Thank you, Ajare, for asking me to. I was just hoping that I would listen to Amit and to you. And yes, a lot of work has been done in tobacco control. And Hazare, you have taken very special initiative for that holistic approach. With a special meeting in Ujjain Kumbh Mela and seminar and with all the top saints of India and the symposium in Shanti Kunj Haridwar. And you know that in our symposium that we had organized in the National Conference on Tobacco or Health last in September, there was a paper presentation from Professor William McCarthy from our data that we had collected in Mumbai and Calcutta, and he showed his interest is in religiosity, and he had shown that religiosity is protective for tobacco use, for initiating tobacco use among adolescents in India also. This finding is well known from the USA. So even that holistic approach, what you are saying, is an important approach for tobacco control. So I'm happy to be hearing you and also Amit Yadav for all about legal developments, the way they have happened. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Dr. Rakesh Gupta sir is also here. Dr. Rakesh sir, please, if you can also say something.
Good evening, and everybody, and thanks very much for your elaborating on the subject so very succinctly. My question is, is that why tobacco has never been considered under NDPS Act despite its addictivity, especially because the other substances which are under NDPS Act are much less addictive scientifically, as has been observed. So can you throw some light on it, and cannot it be considered as one of the campaign issues even among the Tobacco Control Society or by the lawyers as such?
Yes, sir, I think you are right in saying that. The only point is we as lawyers, we think so when there is clear and present danger, then we are more in terms of agitated. And if you look at tobacco, people think that it is going to affect at a longer time and at a later stage.
I think there is some disturbance in it. My question was with the observation of yesteryears, almost 30, 40 years, when the morphine was available in the hospitals for the pain relief, morphine, pethidine, Fortrin came thereafter, which were all strong opioids. The moment NDPS was introduced in the country, these vanished away overnight in the hospitals actually, and the patients were deprived of the pain relief. That much is its efficacy. And in that context, I asked, because although we have a small audience, but I think if somebody can definitely take it up further, perhaps understanding the legal intricacies, this may be one aspect which has not been considered in the country so much.
No, I think, sir, it can be done because I think the as I was talking about, and I think you know very well the Juvenile Justice Act. So when we say it under the Juvenile Justice Act, it is actually put up along with all the products which you would consider as under the NDPS. No, because and even you look at the penalty. No, so it is 1 lakh. Anyone who is giving tobacco to a minor, his penalty is 1 lakh rupees and 7 years imprisonment. That is not in terms of which I think is equivalent to the NDPS provisions. So while for minors it is under Juvenile Justice Act, I think COTPA should also come up with stricter penalties initially, and with time I think we can actually put it into as an NDPS.
Thank you.
Hello.
I think Dr. Ravinder Singh is there, President IDA. Dr. Ravinder Singh. Dr. Ravinder Singh, I President Indian Dental Association. If he is there.
Yes, Dr. Hazare, I'm very much here.
Anyway, I think he was earlier there.
He's here, sir.
I'm there.
Arey boss. Good afternoon. Yes. He is our youngest dental professional. You know, he is the President IDA. Yeah, Ravinder, please.
Yeah. Well, as we know, IDA is also committed toward the eradication of tobacco in this country. We have worked. We are still willing to work, and we have been working with so many NGOs regarding this aspect. We have got a network because we have got so many TIA centers, TCC centers. We have got so many 550 branches. So with any like-minded NGO, we can always go to the grassroots levels. I was fortunate to be associated with this BOTV also and certain NGOs before I became the president of IDA head office. So we had also taken up the issues. I remember IDA Assam had taken up we have filed a PIL in Guwahati High Court for this gutka and for the smokeless tobacco. And I did it myself, being the president of Assam state branch that time. And for that reason, there was some changes in the legislation of the Assam state also. Well, the things apart. First thing is we are to motivate the public. They should know what are why we should leave tobacco. Second thing is the legislation part. Third is how to enforce the act, enforce the whatever the things are passed by the government in this respect. So I believe it's our duty, so that the enforcement is very important, to let the police let the district administration, let this low-level rugs of this administration should come into the picture. They should know more about how to efficiently enforce the laws we normally discuss in this platform. So this is my humble request to everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Ravinder. Thank you. Thank you. So, yes, Dr. Guru Raja Rao, please go ahead. Unmute yourself.
Incidentally, I have been a person who have done a lot of work in community and public health levels in dentistry. For over 40 years, I have written even a book on community dentistry as well. Incidentally, I have been a bastion for treating also patients with precancerous conditions. Incidentally, the people suffering from precancerous lesions and cancer has been in a great explosion. Incidentally, 14 to 15 lakh people have been suffering from oral cancer of late. Recently, in the published data, it has been shown that oral cancer has spiraled like anything. And the cause is, as you know, that cigarettes and tobacco and BDs and all those things. In fact, there are advertisements in the TV also about Chinese or Rajnigandha or RMD like that, which is going unabated. I don't know how to stop these advertisements in the TV as well. Incidentally, I feel that some senior citizens should be made as corporals or guide or sergeants who can be empowered to find the people who are smoking in public places, and that should be helpful for reducing the amount of smokers in the public places as well. So I think there must be some law which can help the people, as senior citizens or someone who can be monitoring the smoking also. And what I feel is that some companies who have been manufacturing the cigarettes and BDs and all those things must be penalized in such a way that they must give some amount of 10% or 15% of their earnings to hospitals or research bodies so that they can help in providing treatment for the patients. As you know, government of India is spending lakhs, crores and crores of rupees for the treating the cancer patients, which is just not possible, and people don't get away from it. So what I feel is even these bodies like companies which are manufacturing these BDs and cigarettes must be penalized about 15% or 20% of their income to provide to the hospitals and research bodies so that further research can be done and can be help in promoting the smoking and reducing the cancer incidence. So I feel that we must try to have a very strict ban on advertisements and promotions. And of course, education part, as I feel that we should have some small chapters or small lessons, even in the school level. I think in the third or fourth standard level, where we can try to tell the children that smoking is hazardous and that causes all these problems, and that can be helpful in reducing the ailments in the early, because the children are the one who start smoking. In fact, 60,000 to 1 lakh patients who are below the age of 18 years, they are susceptible for smoking habits. New smokers who are interested in the gamut of the smoking community. You can imagine 60,000 to 1 lakh people every year who are incorporated in the smoking companies and smoking habits. So I am sure nearly 7 to 8 lakh people are suffering, and nearly 14 lakh people are affected in that way or the other. So I feel there must be some regulations which can be helpful not only in textbooks but also in implementation of reducing the smokers, at the same time ban on the cigarette smoking, and at the same time asking these companies to provide some amount of their some of their earnings to the hospitals and research bodies so that we can help the people who are suffering. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Guru Raja Rao. And thank you, Jitendra ji. Thank you, Amit. I mean, you can conclude it, Jitendra ji. But this is a very small group, but very potent group. I think from all the aspects of our advocacy champions, health professionals, our mentor Dr. Gupta, there another Dr. Rakesh Gupta, and all our colleagues will be definitely meeting at Shanti Kunj. We had already planned. Me and Dr. Srivastav had already planned the meeting, but this pandemic has come. Hopefully, this pandemic is over, and all of you are invited at Dev Sanskriti Vishwavidyalaya, where we have lots of logistics and definitely the people to implement.
Yes,
And
sir.
I think, Amit, uh, any last take-home message?
Yes, sir. I think I completely agree with what Guru Raja Rao sir had said, and I think lawyers should come forward and take tobacco industry to the court and make it responsible for what the harm it is causing.
Sir,
And
as a lawyer, yes, as a
and
lawyer, I may give you my commitment to provide you all the helps in litigation, in argument, in filing cases in public interest in the general public, and we all together we have to advocate this issue, because in order to eradicate the menace of this cancer
yes,
disease, we have to fight it jointly, unitedly, and whatever you suggest, we will do it. And before concluding this session or meeting, I would request one of the, I think you may miss him if he does not speak today, Mr. Kreet ji. Kreet Soni, he is with us today. Kreet bhai, are you available?
Kirit Bhai from Ahmedabad.
Yes, yes.
As I told you, throughout India, this Gayatri Parivar volunteers are there. They are ready for just any, like
He has
directions
inspired
we
lots
give,
of
they will
persons.
implement.
Kreet Soni ji.
Yes, 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 yes. Maybe we can communicate, Jitendra ji,
Okay,
and
okay.
I think it's time for you to
So
conclude.
now I requested Dr. Hazare ji to conclude it by chanting Shanti Path.
so Kirit sir is here. Kirit sir,
Because
Kirit sir.
we conclude our session with Shanti Path. Yes, yes. Before Shanti Path is there, Kirit bhai is awake. Yes, please.
Yes,
जी
Kirit Bhai.
जी जी बोलिए भाई साहब.
आप अनम्यूट कर लें अपने आप को, अनम्यूट करके बोलें. हाँ.
हेलो हेलो.
जी जी आवाज आ रही.
हाँ जी, आ रही है आवाज अभी.
हाँ.
हाँ बराबर, आवाज नहीं आ रही थी अभी.
अब आ
अच्छा
रही
ठीक.
है.
हाँ अच्छा, अमित जी नमस्कार जी. आपने बहुत बड़ी बात बताई है ना. बहुत हमने तो फील्ड पे बहुत काम किया है, तो फील्ड में ही हम ज्यादा काम करने वाले लोग हैं. आपने जो एक्ट के बारे में जो बताया है, तो अपने गवर्नमेंट ने जो किताबें उसमें बनाई है, हर हर स्टेट में वो भेजी हुई है कि किसी एक्ट से कितना दंड होता है, क्या होता है, ये होता है. लेकिन क्या है कि उसका जो इम्प्लीमेंट होना चाहिए ना, वो पूरा होता नहीं है. बस नियम तो है हमारा, एक्ट भी है, लेकिन एक्ट का जो उपयोग होना चाहिए ना, वो इतना उपयोग होता नहीं है ना, या कोई लोग करवाते नहीं है या लोग समझते भी नहीं है ना. जैसे कि किसी को हम खून कर देते हैं या उसको डेड कर देते हैं, तो उसके लिए एक्ट तो है, लेकिन फिर भी वो होता रहता है ना, है ना. यह बलात्कार का केस है, यानी ये जो करते हैं लोग, इसका एक्ट भी है, उसकी सजाएं भी है, फिर भी लोग करते रहते हैं, है ना. तो एक्ट तो होना ही चाहिए, और उसका बिल्कुल कंप्लीट, जैसे कि फॉरेन में एक्ट है, तो उनका उपयोग इतना बढ़िया होता है और लोग भी उस एक्ट को मानते हैं. प्रॉब्लम हमारे यहाँ ये है कि हम लोग एक्ट को मानते नहीं है. नहीं तो ये कोरोना जो हो गया, इतना होने वाला नहीं था. एक्ट तो है, लेकिन हम लगाते नहीं हैं। तो इसका कारण ये है कि वैसे जो ये संस्थाएं जो हमारी है, जो गायत्री परिवार से है, वैसी कोई संस्था है, तो इंडिविजुअल हर व्यक्ति को समझाए कि ये हमारे लिए है, तभी ये हो सकता है ना। तो इसका उपयोग भी अच्छा होगा। आपने बहुत अच्छी तरह ये बात समझाई है। ज्यादा इंग्लिश हम बोल तो नहीं सकते, लेकिन समझ पूरा लेते हैं। आपकी सभी बात हमने सुनी और इतना बढ़िया लगा हमको। सही में ऐसा होना ही चाहिए। और ये तो कम, हम जुड़े कम है, लेकिन अभी गायत्री पर ऐसे सब लोग जुड़ेंगे तो बहुत ज्यादा लोग हमारे साथ जुड़ेंगे। और आपका जो भी आपने बात करी पूरे इंडिया में जाएगी। हम भी उसके लिए प्रयत्न भी करेंगे। अगली बार आप शांति कुंज में जो बात करी हमारे भाई साहब ने, जितेंद्र जी ने, तो शांति कुंज में बहुत बड़ा आपको वो मिलने वाला है। अगर ये काम अगर आप कर सकते हैं, अगर हो जाए ना, तो बहुत बड़ी सेवा अपने देश की और दुनिया की होने वाली है।
मेरा बहुत बड़ा वो होगा ऑनर, इट वुड बी अ ग्रेट ऑनर टू कम देयर एंड टॉक टू पीपल.
Yes, Amit ji, you all of you are welcome. All. Rakesh,
I'll be very
everybody. Yes.
grateful, sir. Very grateful.
Yes.
जी,
तो
आप सभी टीम, पूरी टीम आनी चाहिए। ये पूरी टीम बहुत बढ़िया टीम है।
बिल्कुल ये तो अब तक
सबके अंदर है ना।
हाँ किरीट भाई,
अंदर से है, अंदर है, सब अंदर है ना, इसलिए
हमारे
अंदर से बोलते हैं।
हमारे डॉक्टर प्रकाश गुप्ता और डॉक्टर प्रणव पंड्या 2006 में पहली बार साथ में आए थे और ये एक नई राह अपने को दिखाई। तो हम अभी कंक्लूड करते हैं सर।
जी, बहुत
you have been always with us. So, and first of all, I must congratulate on this forum to Dr. Gupta for the top 2%, amongst the top 2% scientists. It's a pride of India, sir. We salute you, sir.
Thank you very much.
It's an honor to be working with you, sir.
Thank you all very much. It has been a privilege and a pleasure to work with all of you at various points in time and continuing to work with all of you for advancing tobacco control.
Yes,
sir. डॉक्टर गुप्ता के लिए हम रिक्वेस्ट करेंगे आप सभी एक बार गायत्री मंत्र चैंट करें।
अच्छा,
गायत्री मंत्र है
जरूर
वंडरफुल पावर्स इन योर interest, in your welfare. We all request, pray Almighty. Om Bhur Bhuvah
Svah
Tatsaviturvarenyam
Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona
Prachodayat. So, Shanti Path, Dr. Mrs. Hazare.
हाँ, प्रणाम सभी को। आइए हम सब शांति पाठ करेंगे। ओम द्यो शांति,
ओम द्यो शांतिरंतरिक्ष गुम शांति, पृथ्वी शांति,
शांति, पृथ्वी शांतिरापः शांतिरधयः शांति, वनस्पतयः शांतिर्विश्वे देवा शांतिर्ब्रह्म शांति, सर्वगं शांति शांतिरेव शांति, सामा शांतिरेधि। ओम शांति शांति शांति, सर्वारिष्ट सुशांतिर्भवतु।
सभी को प्रणाम। डॉक्टर साहब का, हजारे जी, दीदी हजारे, आपका बहुत बड़ा योगदान आज के कार्यक्रम में। आपको बहुत बहुत बधाई, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
सभी को प्रणाम जी। मैं अभी ज्वाइन हुई जस्ट।
Wonderful experience to be with all of you. Thank you lot. Thank you, Dr.
It's a parivar.
Thank you.
Parivar blessed by Gurudev. So thank you so much.
We'll meet
Thank
again at Shanti Kunj. Okay.
Thank you all very much.